What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous Georgian goes, always delivering the big names. Today we get to talk to an MMA legend. Her name is Cris Cyborg. She's a former Invicta FC champ, Strikeforce champion, UFC champion, and Bellator champion. She's got all the belts. And this weekend, she actually gets down in boxing. She's going to be facing Kelsey Wickstrum in Temecula, California. So all our SoCal peeps, get out to Temecula, California for WFC 163, 6 rounds of professional boxing. How are you, Cris?
You know, I feel great. I'm very excited to come back. You know, after my MMA fight, to just take a little break and start for routine and training. This really help. You know, you keep it going, and I'm excited.
What do you like about boxing that's different from MMA?
It's very different, you know. We have it when you do MMA. You have a lot of options. You know, you can go grappling, you can take it down, and I like it because when I train straight boxing for one competition, this is really improve my game for MMA. Like before, when I competition some wrestling tournament, some jiu-jitsu tournament, giving me more experience for MMA fights, and I love it. You know, I love it. Training, the learning, and improving my game for MMA.
So your training camp is basically just in boxing gyms with boxers. That's it.
Yes, I went to Seattle. I stayed there training with Coach Benavides. So we just train boxing there. The whole camp only boxing and improve a lot of things. I mean, really, you know, I like it. I like it. Sparring. We spar there 3 times a week, and I really enjoy strike. You know, most fights. I train jiu-jitsu, wrestling, everything, but I really enjoy finish my fights and keep my fights strike.
I know it makes you more sharp. I know it makes you more technical, but
Yep.
Can you bring that to MMA? Like, can you bring those skills to MMA, or do you have to leave them in boxing? Because I hear boxing in MMA is just different with footwork and obviously the gloves and all the other weapons, you know.
You know, for sure, I think you can bring a lot of things from boxing, from MMA, especially my jab. You know, if you have a strong jab, you can pick it, you can get it close to your opponent when you want to get it close. Like footwork, if somebody want to take you down, you just get it close to your opponent if you want to stay close. You know, I think a lot of things you can learn. Move ahead, jab, you know, keep the distance. I think it's really important. And for sure, it's make a lot of difference in MMA fight.
This Friday, the 19th, at Pacheco Resort and Casino, Cris Cyborg will be fighting Kelsey Wickstrum, excuse me. 6 rounds of professional boxing, and the event starts at 6 p.m. Get on down there. I've watched a lot of different fights in boxing and MMA at Pacheco. It's a great resort. Get there early and have dinner. You guys will like it. Tickets are still available. Cris, a few weeks ago, you told the world that Kayla Harrison didn't want to take a fight. Now, was this boxing match already going to happen, or did you turn to boxing once there was no MMA opportunity for you?
You know, this box is already scheduled. You know, soon I finish my cats and gun fight. The box is already scheduled. Kayla Harrison, the reality Peter, you know, worked for PFL, was one of the owners. Then he called me and then asked me if I'm ready to fight Kayla Harrison after my boxing fight. And I say yes. You know, we've been training for Kayla Harrison. We already been promoted this fight for 3 years. So I'm ready. You know, I told him it's okay, can be short notice. I'm ready. I'm already been training. Cats and Gun is a really similar game as the Kayla Harrison. He already, my last opponent in boxing was a southpaw like Kayla Harrison. So I already been preparing and training for her. So I say yes. And they're going to supposed to send the contract to me. Then it's going to say the lawyer talked to my team. But I didn't receive. I don't know if the other side didn't accept the fight. Or I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so they haven't told you the details as to why there's no fight booked yet.
No, they just say I have the date. I have the date supposed to be the fight. I know where it's supposed to be the fight. I know everything. We talk about everything about the fight. And then they just say you're going to send the contract.
Was it supposed to happen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? We saw a big announcement today with a lot of champions versus champions and other fights. Was that where your fight was supposed to be?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then the other thing would be, I think one of the other executives, Don Davis, said he was leaning more towards Cyborg versus Larissa Pacheco. Have you heard anything if that's an option?
No, I don't have any problem to fight Larissa Pacheco. She's the champion. But we've been promoting this fight against Kayla Harrison for 3 years.
Yeah.
You can use the opportunity after this fight to continue promoting for next big Larissa. But I think everybody waiting for me and Kayla Harrison. So but I don't have any problem fighting Larissa. But I believe we have to start promote this fight. But I think first it's a Kayla Harrison.
Cris, you've seen so many different fighters, big fights, and different styles from each fighter. At this point in your career, whether it's Pacheco, whether it's Harrison, are there really that many changes that you have to do in your training, things that you feel like you need to sharpen? Because to us, you're top notch. Like, it just seems like you're so good at what you do and you're so prepared every single time, no matter who the opponent is.
I really respect all my opponents. We saying, okay, we can get a short notice to Kayla Harrison when they call us because we will really be studying her, being training for her, because this can be short notice. I really respect all my opponents. Usually I do a 12, 10 weeks training, especially when I make 145 for every opponent, and then we make a plan. We make a plan, every single fight. And we watch all the fight the girls and they have a plan. I think it's really important. And after when I don't have a fight, I like to improve my game. I keep learning, because this I'm doing in boxing fight. This is helping me, keep me sharp, keep me learning different things, and improving my game for MMA.
As we were doing the interview, I'm looking at my background, and I have all these different gloves, right? And I started thinking, you have belts in half of these organizations. Like that's insane. Adding another belt, a PFL belt, what would that mean for your legacy?
The first thing I was never thinking I was gonna have all the belts. I wanted at the beginning of my career, I just want to be the best in the world. I never think about the belts, and I feel very, very blessed and thankful for all the opportunities I had, and happy because the beginning, my career don't have a lot of girls fighting. So now you see how the women's MMA grows so much, and making me feel very blessed. I'm continue fight. I'm continue people calling my name out for fight me. I'm continue defending my title. So it's a 16 defending titles in my career. This year is gonna be 19 years fighting. I feel very blessed, thankful for all the opportunities, and very thankful for Cyber Nation, all my fans. I think you don't do this alone. You have a team. You have got your side, you have your family, you have other fans. Your fans got a shirt, your fans go to watch your fights. And I love to make exciting fights. The beginning, I say, I want to make a fight like it means exciting fights. And then, for them believe in us. And then here I am, and I'm really super happy and thankful.
Cris, what's it like on the boxing side when you come into a boxing gym like that? I'm sure a lot of people know who you are from the mixed martial arts world. How do they treat you? Is it the same in MMA where you kind of have a little bit of a target on your back, or do they like the fact that you're trying boxing? Are they helpful to you?
No, in the boxing gym, I'm in one more, I want more training. And this is cool, like actually I went to the Benavides team. Last time I went to, but this time I can really meet the team, the young team, the young kids, training there, the fighters. So it's really cool because it's take it out of my comfort place. Here when I'm training in my city, in my gym, we okay, depending who I'm gonna fight, we get some people partners for be part of the camp, depending who I'm gonna fight. So there, when I show up there, and I did the sparring, different girls, different guys, I don't know them, they don't know me. So this is cool, because usually if you sparring the same person, they already know who you are, or they don't know what you do. So this is really cool for improve your game and is get out your comfort place. I think it's really good. Sometimes you get out your comfort place.
Cris, will you be boxing at middleweight or super welterweight for this boxing match? What weight class is this going to be contested at?
This is going to be 154.
154. Okay, so I think that's where let me see. There's McCaskill is the welterweight champion. Well, there's a few of them, but She's, I think, the most popular. And then you got Emma Kozin at this one, super welterweight. And then you got Claressa Shields at middleweight. So my question more is, are these boxing matches, are they leading to a big matchup against any of these champions? Or is it just you staying busy and really more of the focus is on MMA?
You know, for beginner, I want to stay busy and I stay learning. You know, I'm new in the boxing world. I'm really new, and it's really no easy. You know, it's no easy to fight boxing and training box every day. It's no easy. It's a lot of things. It's very different than MMA. I can bring things I learned from boxing to MMA, yes. I don't know, you know, what's going to happen for now. I mean, you know, step a little bit, slowly. And then, you know, if I'm doing great fights and improving my game in boxing, maybe I can have the opportunity one day fight for the title. But my goal is start learning the sport and doing great fights and start slowly, you know. But I really enjoy all the family from boxing, the fans. They really support me. The one thing I really like, because the people like boxing is different people like MMA. But the cool thing is when I go to MMA, when I go to boxing event, all the fans know who I am there. So this is making me really happy, because I think maybe because my style fight, when I fight MMA, I like to finish the fight and strike. But they really support me. They welcome, you know, to the boxing fights, make me really happy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're probably inspired by Francis Ngannou and everything he's done. He's a little bit on a faster track, it seems like. But look, Claressa is with PFL. That would be pretty epic to see you guys in MMA. In boxing, is that something you would want to, if you fought Claressa Shields, to fight in both sports, or do you prefer one over the other?
No, I think you can be good. You can do one box and one MMA. I think it's be nice. I think the fans are going to like it. Much respect, you know. Claressa is the GOAT in boxing, you know. She's the man, the best in boxing. But for me, it's nice, you know. Like MMA is different word than the boxing. So we in same organization, for sure. We can fight MMA one day. I don't know. She's young. I mean, ended the line now. But for me, you know, for sure, I love opportunities. I love to do great fights. And for me, I want to complete 20 years fighting. I'm going to 19 now. And I want to be doing the biggest fights. If you're going to be in boxing, MMA, but I want to do the biggest fight in both.
Where do you want to have, is there any particular venue that you want to fight in? You fought in so many venues, stadiums in Brazil, all over the United States. Is there any particular place that you would want to have your biggest matches that are coming up?
No, I think it's about the Middle East. I think it's really nice. You know, we're gonna have the next event. I never fought in Japan. Japan is the one of my dream. But you know, I think in America I have huge fans. In Brazil I have huge fans. You know, where it's supposed to be the fights. The last ones, but guys, I make sure that guys, my next fight, come to my next fight, because we have short time, and I want to do the biggest fights, and I'm in the end, really.
Yeah. I think Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Madison Square Garden, and Japan would be three great ones for you. Because, like I say, you've done it all everywhere. You've already done Las Vegas, the stadiums in Curitiba, Brazil, and and now it's just a matter of making sure you accomplish all your dreams. First things first, Friday against Kelsey Wickstrum, 6 rounds of boxing. Can you take her out, Chris? Do you have the skills to put her out, or do you want to get the work in and get those 18 minutes of experience?
You know, my first fight boxing I did in Brazil, we did 8 rounds. 8 rounds. It's different. It's 2-minute rounds. It's really fast and quick. But you know, I'm learning patient. I want to learn patient. You know, I really want to do boxing. Go to war. I always go to war. But you know, I want to practice a little bit boxing. If the opportunities, you know, when you finish somebody, it's not because you force, but because the opportunity coming and they see the punch come. So I want to take my time and find the opportunity and finish the fight.
Last question. Is there a famous athlete from another sport like soccer, football, tennis, or even, I guess, Hollywood? Is there a famous other person that has ever just pulled you aside and say, I love watching you fight?
I think some actors, but I don't remember the names. I'm really terrible to remember the names. I just watched one movie as last night. I have some actors I met in person.
Mhm.
But really nice when they come. The Rock came and talked to me too when I
Ooh,
went to the
The Rock.
event. Yes, and he said to me he's really support me, like my fights. This is really cool. I take a picture for him long time ago.
Yeah.
But have a lot of a couple of guys I met and then really enjoy watching the fights.
Yeah, I was there when Fedor told you he loved watching your fights. I go, man, what a compliment. That was one of the coolest compliments I've heard from one great fighter to another great fighter.
When I start fighting, I was really watching Feather, and he was the man that time. And I have dog. I put my name in my dog Feather,
Oh, yeah? Oh,
and
I
yeah,
didn't know
for
this
him.
part.
Yes, now he passed away like at the beginning of the year, but he was 14 years,
Sorry to
and
hear that.
Mm.
he's a really big, huge fan. Feather Milanenko, he's doing a great fights and big legend in the sport.
Yeah, this was late last year. Oh, no, sorry,
Yes,
early last year at the forum. And he was so
yes,
cool. He was just sitting there and you
yeah.
asked him a question and he just goes, I love watching your face. He said it's so cool. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, he's very humble guy, It's
Yeah.
really nice to watch his fights.
Yeah. Chris, thank you so much for the time. I know it's a busy week for you, so thanks for squeezing some time in here at MMA Junkie Radio. Good luck against Kelly Wickstrom, and I'm sure 2024 has got some big fights lined up for you because that's all Cris Cyborg does is fighting big fights, fighting big stadiums, collect belts. So we look forward to that.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I love to talk to you guys. It's the one little bit nice for the fans and know a little bit more know more about us. And thank you very much, guys. I wait you guys Friday.